From WDTN, the station that's working for you, this is 2 News at 6.
And this is a live look at the historic and essentially all-day hearing still happening. At this hour, we'll have what has happened so far as this man, Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, and his accuser both testified before a Senate committee.
And mass casualty training in the Miami Valley will show you what exercises first responders are put through and why it's important to have these types of trainings in the community.
And a Miami Valley nonprofit is stepping up in the aftermath of Hurricane Florence. How many shoes they hope to donate to the residents affected by the hurricane and how you can still help.
And welcome to 2 News at 6, which we are now streaming live on our website, WDTN.com, also airing on WBDT Dayton CW. If you'd like to continue watching the Kavanaugh hearing, that live coverage is continuing on air on WDTN.
It's also our top story here at 6, today's unprecedented Senate hearing that will ultimately decide the fate of a U.S. Supreme Court nominee. Blaine Alexander continues our coverage with a recap of what has happened so far.
Testimony you're about to give.
An emotional he said, she said.
I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me.
Playing out for the world to see.
We mean no ill will.
Christine Blasey Ford up first, describing an alleged sexual assault during a house party decades ago, identifying her attacker as Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling.
She says Kavanaugh drunkenly attacked her as a friend watched.
The uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
Kavanaugh denying it all, at some points on the verge of tears, others defiant.
I was not at the party described by Dr. Ford. This confirmation process has become a national disgrace.
Both Ford and Kavanaugh caught in a political pressure cooker. Republicans blasting Democrats for not exposing the allegations sooner.
There were 45 days this committee could have been investigating this situation. Democrats
applauding Ford.
Speaking your truth is nothing short of heroic.
And slamming the process.
And a law professor here at the University of Dayton says that today's hearing only serves to highlight why we all need to pay closer attention to the U.S. Supreme Court.
2 News reporter Dana Smith continues our team coverage with his reaction.
Professor Thaddeus Hoffmeister called today's hearing historic, and he said given the Supreme Court is the highest in the country, it's something all Americans should take note of.
And the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. The standards should be incredibly high for anyone entering.
Over at the University of Dayton's Law Department, students say they too were keeping an eye on the hearing. Professor Thaddeus Hoffmeister noted there's been a recent shift in attitudes when it comes to sexual assault.
This, to me, cuts across party. People have issues with this regardless of whether they're liberal or conservative, Republican or Democrat.
He said the decision by Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee to defer to a hired third-party prosecutor is unprecedented, and it could be because they're worried about how the issue could affect the party itself.
That's the primary reason you see that you have a whole row of senators who've given up the opportunity to be in the spotlight and ask questions and instead have deferred to an outside prosecutor because they're worried about the optics.
He says it's unfortunate that it takes these types of allegations to get people interested in the Supreme Court. But given the sheer power the people who sit on the court hold, it's in Americans' best interest to pay attention to who's nominated.
People need to pay more attention to what the Supreme Court does and to look at who's on the Supreme Court and what qualifications do people want for the highest court of the land. And again, these are lifetime appointments. So I think you want to thoroughly vet the people that are going to sit on the United States Supreme Court.
Hoffmeister said never in recent memory has the Judiciary Committee hired a prosecutor for a hearing like this one. Dana Smith, 2 News, working for you.
All right, Dana, thank you again. That hearing continues live over on WDTN, also streaming live on WDTN.com. But continuing now at 6, mass casualty training has been happening all day at Miami Valley Hospital.
They are training first responders from the greater Dayton area in all Premier-owned hospitals. 2 News reporter Ethan Fitzgerald is at the hospital where the drills are happening today.
And that drill was from 2 to 5 today. The main campus here was buzzing with first responders and actors. That's right, everything you're about to see was a drill.
loose, we're moving.
Each Premier Medical facility had upwards of 30 live trauma actors, each with various injuries. One actor, a nursing teacher over at Sinclair, says this is as real as it gets as far as simulations go.
A variety of things is great because it, again, keeps the first responders in with good experiences of a variety of modalities that they might be experiencing in an event such as this.
The simulation, all-encompassing. If you heard loud bangs near the hospital, it was not real, but they are trying to make it as real as possible.
Medical personnel respond in body armor and respond with law enforcement to try to render aid to victims of active shooters as quickly as possible in what would be considered a warm zone.
The network has done large-scale training in the past, but this is the biggest in over a decade. And there's always a reason to practice because these tragic events continue to evolve.
We'll make modifications to our plans, we'll retrain, we'll take every ounce of learning we can from what happens today, because the opportunity to get mutilage victims and something on this scale doesn't come along too often, so we're going to make the most of it.
And as this drill went on, one of the actors made a serious note today saying this was needed. Just look at the incident and the tragedy that happened down in Cincinnati. Ethan Fitzgerald, 2 News, working for you.
All right, Ethan, speaking of which, the bank executive who survived that recent Cincinnati shooting is now starting a nonprofit of her own. Whitney Austin, a digital products manager at Fifth Third Bank, has started WhitneyStrong.org. She's working to raise money to hire experts to assist her with making federal and local legislative changes, and she also believes that more work should be done to prevent the mentally ill from getting guns. Austin survived being shot 12 times.
I couldn't move at all. As I processed that along with the blood that I'm coughing up, it was a dead end. There's nothing else I can do. I can't get out of this situation. I'm spanning Fountain Square. I don't see anybody to save me. And at that point, I just, all right, this is it. I'm dying. That's what I thought.
And Austin says the work that she does now will be in the honor of the three people who died that day in that shooting.
New information in the deadly September 11th police chase in Miami Township. The driver accused of setting off the deadly chain of events was arraigned today. 18-year-old Alyssa Irwin Dubrow pleading not guilty to grand theft auto. Police say she fled a traffic stop with the stolen car, causing another car to spin out. A Moraine police cruiser then crashed into that vehicle, killing 57-year-old Mary Talby. We obtained the crash report, which shows Irwin Dubrow did not have a license and was suspected of driving under the influence of drugs. We're also following up as we learn a 27-year-old man from Fairborn was killed after being hit by a train. The Greene County Sheriff's Office says Christopher Walker died. This was around 5:30 this morning near Spangler Road in Fairborn. We're working to learn more about this incident, and we will bring it to you as soon as we get it.
And still to come at 6 here on 2 News, a company is making a move in the Miami Valley, where they're moving to and why they say it will benefit their clients. And then later tonight, new at 10, right here on Dayton CW, Springfield Schools becoming the latest district to take on ECOT, how they plan to use the courts to get their money back.
New at 6, a local business is moving to a new location in the Miami Valley. James Construction and Renovation moved from Kettering to a new building in Washington Township right off of I-675. The company says its new location is more accessible for its clients with parking and several offices. The new building will include a project wall displaying current projects being done by the company. James Construction and Renovation specializes in architectural design and project management.
And happening today, an Oregon District restaurant damaged by fire is now holding a soft reopening. It's now been 9 months since fire closed Solar Restaurant and Lounge. Well, 2 News got a sneak peek inside, and customers will find a very new look when they visit, along with a few changes to the menu as well. The reopening is also a chance to give back. When you make a reservation here, the first 3 nights, it's going to cost you $10, but all that money goes to the Dayton Children's Burn Unit. And still to come, a battle for first place on the gridiron this week between Bellbrook and Valley View. Jack previews our game of the week.
Plus, giving shoes to residents in need as they continue to clean up after Hurricane Florence, how you can help.
And skies clear tonight, so get ready for some cool early fall overnight temperatures. I'll let you know how low we drop on the Storm Team 2 forecast.
Shoes for the Shoeless is a nonprofit which normally serves the Miami Valley. Well, now they're stepping up to help Florence relief efforts, and they need your help.
Yeah, they're hosting a drive for items that they'll be taking to North Carolina this weekend. And 2 News reporter Deborah Bogart has another example of what's working in the Miami Valley.
Right behind me is the drop-off spot for Shoes for the Shoeless, accepting donations of what they say are dire items for a rural town in North Carolina still absolutely devastated by flooding. Pollexville, North Carolina, a community of just 300, with only 3 buildings in the town not damaged by floodwaters, now in desperate need of any and all basic necessities.
The fire department there that's volunteer, we're feeding everybody 3 meals a day on a gas grill. That was one of the buildings that didn't get flooded.
Over 600 miles away, Shoes for the Shoeless is stepping up to fill that need. They are donating 1,000 pairs of brand new gym shoes, Size 2. But are requesting many more and have volunteers of all ages at First Baptist Church Kettering packing up donations of items Pollexville residents say are crucial as they rebuild.
We want to serve our community, we want to serve our church, and we want to serve America in general.
We started receiving Amazon deliveries just out of the blue to the church. We'd open them up and say, oh, there's baby bottles. So we just put them in there.
On Friday night, they plan to fill up 3 26-foot U-Hauls with the supplies. Then 8 volunteers will drive all day Saturday. When they arrive, they will set up 2 free stores for residents to come grab from, then plan to get their hands dirty, helping clean up houses and debris.
They've talked to Chris several times and are just so encouraged, just on the hope that we're coming, and that we just keep telling them that Ohio loves them and we're on our way.
They'll be here until 6 tomorrow and encourage everyone, if you can, to bring an item. If you'd like to see that full list, head over to WDTN.com and click on As Seen on 2 News. Reporting in Kettering, Deborah Bogart, 2 News, working for you.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Brian Davis and your Storm Team 2 forecast.
Well, we are expecting those temperatures to drop through the 50s this evening into the 40s tomorrow morning. Still a couple of sprinkles around the area through about 7 o'clock or so. By 8 o'clock, the bulk of that rain should be to the east of us and down to 54 under mostly clear skies. At 11 p.m., we'll even be in the 40s tomorrow morning, 46 at 8 o'clock with sunny skies, maybe a little patchy fog around, 63 at noon and then 69 at 5 o'clock, getting up around 70 tomorrow afternoon. Showers ending early tonight in our weather headlines, and we'll see that clearing trend. Cool conditions overnight, heading down to the mid-40s, down to about 46 for us, mid to upper 40s across much of western Ohio, and even back to the west out across Indiana. A lot of sunshine around the area Friday, and we are looking at some great weather for the upcoming weekend. Your forecast calling for highs mid to upper 60s Saturday and up into the mid-70s for Sunday afternoon. Low temperatures, as I mentioned tonight, hitting the 40s, but tomorrow we should warm up to around 70, maybe even into the low 70s in the afternoon. A lot of moist ground out there, so some of the energy will be going to evaporating some of that water that's been falling earlier this week. And then the high temperature Saturday hitting the mid to upper 60s with 70s to the south of us. Humidity levels low this evening. It should stay pleasant right on through Sunday, so some delightful numbers as far as that goes, which it should be for late September. Troy Stouter Center time lapse. You can see the clouds that we've been experiencing out there throughout the afternoon, and now the back edge of the rain, showers coming across southern parts of Indiana. Still could be some light sprinkles or some light rain showers out there for about another hour or so, but we'll see that dry weather return this evening, and already the clearing line pushing into the western part of Indiana, so it won't be long. Once the shower threat moves out, skies will quickly clear behind that. Right now in Dayton, we have a temperature of 60, light east wind at 3, barometer falling rapidly with a relative humidity at 72%, and our weather checkers tonight, upper 50s, low 60s, pretty uniform numbers out there. Tom Wyckoff in Springfield at 58 degrees. Bill Telsrow over in Xenia 60, 59 reported in Germantown by Anna, and 61 degrees in Kettering tonight. Barbara Richards calling that in. A look at our future track forecast map by 9 o'clock. Skies should be clearing out across our area, leaving us with clear skies overnight. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow morning, and then maybe a few scattered clouds tomorrow afternoon. Another cold front pushing through with very low rain chances here for the Miami Valley, so it looks like dry conditions for the high school football games tomorrow night. And Saturday, it looks like we're back to partly to even mostly sunny sky as dry weather continues, just slightly cooler air returning for the start of the weekend. Showers ending early tonight, then we'll see clearing skies later this evening. Overnight low 46 degrees with light and variable winds. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, up around 70 degrees for that afternoon high. 56 at 10 o'clock after starting in the 40s at 8, 63 at noon, 67 at 2, up around 70 at 4 p.m. Saturday's high 67, morning low 50. 50 degrees again Sunday morning with a high of 75. Then we actually warm it up a little bit next week. 80 on Monday. Chance of thunderstorms Tuesday and 80. Even warmer on Wednesday up into the low 80s. And then another cold front arriving Thursday with a chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures dropping back into the 70s and probably cooling off a little bit more than that after the Thursday for Friday and Saturday of next week. But boy, the weekend right now looking good. Really good.
Yeah, still not entirely finished with the warmer temperatures either.
No, a little bit of 80-degree warmth coming back for the start of October.
All right, thank you, Brian.
2 Sports, powered by Ford.
It is a battle for first place in the SWBL Southwest Division as undefeated 4th-ranked Bellbrook pays a visit to Valley View tomorrow night in our Operation Football Premier Health Game of the Week.
1, 2, 3, 5. A lot of discipline, a lot of teamwork, and a lot of communication. I felt something really special about this year. I mean, we're all getting together, we're all hanging out outside of football. It's just a really great brotherhood, blood, sweat, tears, everything.
I'm feeling pretty confident. We taking one game at a time, watching a lot of film, just preparing more than the next team. We've prepared all season for these type of games, these dogfights, so it'll be good.
I knew I had a solid senior class that was going to lead the right way. I knew they were going to make plays for us. Yeah, it's been a great start. It seems like we're clicking in all phases of our team. You know, we've plugged in a lot of new guys in some different areas, and then they've done a great job rising up to the challenge and really providing a lot of depth to our team.
Get it! Right now, we're just trying to get better every week. Had some injuries, some guys starting to come back, and that's helped us here the last couple weeks. I like that we're starting to come around a little bit better after a couple weeks earlier on when we didn't do so well, but we haven't played anybody like Bellbrook recently either, so we'll find out this week.
It's going to take a lot of effort. We're going to have to run through a lot of plays, do a lot of stuff right. I mean, there just can't be mental mistakes anywhere on the field. We got to be all together and be as a team.
Playing at home is such a special thing to us because we have such a good fan base, and I've never played anywhere better with a better fan base. So it means a lot, and I think it really gives us the extra boost we need.
It's all really special because in our town, football is everything. So everyone comes and supports us. What's been working? Teamwork. That's all I'm going to say. Teamwork.
All right, now in addition to our game of the week, we will also have Fairmont at Miamisburg, Xenia at Springfield, Miami East at Covington, just to name a few. Operation Football coming your way tomorrow night over on Channel 2 and right here on the CW. The NFL is under fire for the enormous amount of roughing the passer penalties so far this season. The league offered clarification today, releasing a video to teams that shows examples of what will be called. Bottom line, if a player throws any weight on a QB, he's going to get flagged. Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton says he's okay with that as long as it's not a rule just for the elite quarterbacks.
I mean, you want it called evenly. That's the first thing. If it's going to be called the way it is, it needs to be called evenly. But, you know, I'd love the protection that some of these other guys have gotten when it comes to roughing the passer penalties, but life goes on.
Baker Mayfield will make his NFL start, his first NFL start, coming up this Sunday out west at Oakland against those winless Raiders. Mayfield came off the bench last week to lead the team to victory, but he had won his teammates over long before that.
Obviously, you know, knowing all the things that, you know, he went through at Oklahoma, and, you know, but, you know, one thing I know about him, you know, he walking like he talking, and that's something that I appreciate and I respect about him, and he's continued to do.
Well, the truth is there's nothing happy about going to Happy Valley when you're the visiting team playing against Penn State. And yet that's what 4th-ranked Ohio State will do against those 9th-ranked Nittany Lions come Saturday night.
I think that is a great environment, but do I like it, did you say? I like it if we find a way to win a game. That's why we're there, and they're there to do the opposite. So I think it's, to answer your question, it's a great environment.
The Flyers are back on the road this Saturday at Marist. This will already be Dayton's 3rd road game of the season, and UD is still looking for that first win away from home. The Flyers do go into this one against the winless Red Foxes with a little bit of momentum after winning their Pioneer Football League opener last week against Davidson.
We're really looking forward to it. Not the results we wanted on the road, but we feel confident with the 1-0 start, and so we're really looking forward to it. We're embracing it.
Yeah, UD looking to go 2-0 in PFL play.
The Red Foxes.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on TV?
He was a funny comedian.
Yeah,
once. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, we'll be right back, and Brian will have one last check of your forecast. All right, Brian, a final look at our forecast.
Yeah, sprinkles, light rain showers. Looks like they'll be moving out this evening, and then we'll even see those clouds move out later this evening after sunset. Those clearing skies will drop to the mid-50s at 11 o'clock and even in the 40s tomorrow morning.
All right, the Brett Kavanaugh hearing continues over on WDTN. We'll see you here tonight at 10 and then 2 News at 11.
Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.